Hello and welcome to Geeky Bit. Today in tech history, we're going to talk about AOL. You might be going, what in the world is AOL? Well, AOL stands for America Online, and it was one of the first internet or online service providers. So let's get into the history of things first. AOL has its roots in something called PlayNET. Q-Link licensed that, and then launched a PC client in 1998, later renaming that PC client America Online in 1989. AOL has always had its roots in gaming because AOL had games when it launched. Interestingly enough, the current incarnation of AOL has nothing to do with gaming. In 1991, AOL for DOS was launched using a UI called GeoWorks. In 1992, a dedicated version for Windows was also released. In 2000, AOL merged with Time Warner. By 2006, AOL dropped America Online and just became known as AOL. In 2015, AOL was acquired by Verizon, who then sold them in 2021 to Apollo. These are the highlights of AOL's history. In a short form video like this, there's just too much to cover, and that's why I highly recommend looking at the Wikipedia article linked below in the description. Here's an honorable mention. In 1995, there was a movie released called You've Got Mail, after the AOL moniker You've Got Mail. It was a romantic comedy and would have made AOL a household name if AOL was not already a household name. AOL of course started as a dial-up online service, then later offered unrestricted access to the internet. Then AOL started to get into DSL internet service before becoming more of a service on the internet, and then later being mainly ads and email services, which is essentially what AOL consists of today. With all of that out of the way, here's my story with AOL. In 1994, my dad bought a 28.8K modem from Costco or Sam's Club or one of those big box discount stores. The modem came with a full copy of AOL with 6 months of service included at 100 hours per month. By today's standards, that doesn't sound like much, but back then, man, that was a lot. My dad bought the modem to use with his Novell network classes, so he had no need of the AOL disk and its monthly services. I asked if I could have the disk and use it with my 9600 baud modem. Back then, phone services and internet services were not unlimited, so I had to promise not to use the line more than a few hours a week. I also had to make sure that I was dialing a local number, as otherwise you get charged long distance fees, and I couldn't use the service if there wasn't any local numbers. Lucky for me, I was able to find a local phone number, but in that first week I realized I didn't like the service as it was mostly chat rooms and the quote video games weren't that great. By the time we had cable internet, we signed back up for AOL, but just for the email service, which had 5 emails and unlimited storage for $9.95. And of course it gave you the other AOL services, but we weren't really interested in that. But by early to mid 2000s, we signed up for Google's Gmail and moved on from AOL altogether. Here are my thoughts about AOL. I think AOL was a great place to get online and chat with people, and in those early days it felt more like a large-scale BBS than an internet service. I think the reason AOL died out more or less is the lack of progressing with the times. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, and if so, feel free to click that like button, and if you're not subscribed so already, feel free to do so, and if you'd like to get notifications of my future videos, click that bell button.